hit the streets just to get a bag. I pack, he got toe tagged. I punched the nigga for shorty. I'm John Woo with the 40. You not gang nor the homie. Don't bro me, no, you don't know me. Gang shit, numbers only. You wasn't there, I was lonely. You wasn't there, I was lonely. Dog nights, blicky on me. I was just stacking my commas up. Head.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Rage, Cypher, and Chubbs, man. We're back on Hoops World. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us at TikTok and Instagram at Hoops World 0. Man, oh man, we came back with a vengeance, man. We're gonna talk about this De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs trade, man. What a banger! We just got the alert. Now, the full trade details, I'm going to put it real quick because Shams gave us the full trade. 3-team deal. We got De'Aaron Fox De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin go to the Spurs. Kings get Zach LaVine, City Sissoko, 3 first-round picks, 2025 Charlotte, 2025, 2027 Spurs, 2031 Minnesota, 3 second-round picks, 2025 Bulls, 2028 Denver, 2028 own back, and then Bulls get the Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, their own 2025 pick via Spurs. So a lot of different ways you could spin it, but let me start with you, Rage. Who do you think, I guess, lost to trade in your opinion after seeing this?
Say the big winners obviously are the Spurs. You know, they were able to get De'Aaron Fox without having to give up Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, or Devin Vassell. You know, with Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell being the most coveted, and you know, it was kind of big for them because we thought that they'd at least have to, you know, with at least one of them having to be involved, especially like Stephon Castle or Devin Vassell being involved in a trade like this, and them not having to give up really anybody is huge for them. And they still look pretty solid money wise. Like the Spurs are in a very good spot. You know, Kings and Bulls, you know, they both did all right, but like, you know, the Bulls didn't look like too great because their player return was awful. It was just more so getting off that LaVine contract and you know, being able to get that, you know, get their pick back full in return. And, you know, the Kings were just like, all right, let's stay competitive and get some picks back in return. They didn't get too much. Like they got a few picks. Like they got essentially 2 because, you know, one's just not, you know, one's essentially just not, you know, not gonna convey, so it'll just turn into seconds.
Yeah.
But they're not great.
Yeah. My thing is, and I'll shout out to Spurs reporter because I was in his spaces. I was so surprised that the Spurs barely gave up anything to get De'Aaron Fox back. Now, I realized I looked at the cap sheet that they still have money. They still are below the tax, so they still can pivot. You know, let's say you think they might need shooting, but let me ask you, Saif, do you think the Spurs make another move? They still got 3 more days right now as we speak. I think it's about midnight. 3 more days until a trade deadline. Do you see the Spurs like, okay, we got De'Aaron. Should we make another one, or should we just bank on this roster, see where it takes us for this year?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe they pick up Jokic.
Yeah, I hate
I don't know. Like,
well,
Luka got moved. Who knows? I mean,
yeah,
they are under. I believe they're 10 to 12 million under the tax.
yeah.
So they do have space. They have so many picks still. Like they still have some of the Hawks picks. They have, I believe, a Mavs swap, which is super valuable now.
Yeah.
They have like a ton of draft picks. They still have most of their tradable contracts. Johnson, Vassell. They can make a move for like a Cam Johnson. Like they need another shooter. I know he has that relationship with Chris Paul. That's a close thing.
Yeah.
And Johnson, a phenomenal shooter. They could use more shooting around Wemby and Fox. So yeah, they could easily make another move.
Now, in the Spurs space, they were really adamant about another big man, either putting a big man, they want a big man next to Wemby or off the bench, because I'm pretty sure they gave up Zach Collins. So they were very adamant of they want CJ would be great because they need shooting, but they do want a big man too. So I guess
throw on Daron.
Yeah, we can throw Daron. I'm looking at Jonas if you want. Jonas Valanciunas, if you can make that move. See what, I guess, Miles Turner, if you're really trying to make that move. But I guess, let me ask you, Chubbs, how far do you think the Spurs, like, what are they currently right now? The 9th seed in the West? 12th seed?
Yeah,
how far do you think this De'Aaron Fox takes? De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, and all these guys, how far do you think they go?
Bearing no other moves, I'll say as far as Wemby takes them. Because as far as really this whole move is to really cash in on Wemby because he's really good very early.
Yeah.
And it's just about, you know what, let's see what we can do right now. You have Stephon. First of all, you really not. This is the biggest home run you could do.
Yeah.
You didn't give up Castle. You didn't give up Vassell. And if you can pivot Sohan and potentially get Wemby a legitimate 4 next to him.
Yeah.
You can even go further, and it moves Chris Paul to the bench, so you pretty much got a pretty damn good roster for a 23-year-old Wembanyama, who's arguably top 10 player in year 3, which is crazy to say. So I think for the Spurs, this is a home run.
Yeah.
Let's
get to let's Spurs. We'll get for the Spurs because Spurs fans, congrats on this. This was a great trade for you guys. Now let's break down the Kings. Kings get Zach LaVine and City Sissoko. They get their 3 first rounds, but it's really 2 first round picks and 3 second round picks. When I first looked at the Kings return, I'm like, ooh, they got a haul, bro. They finesse, they got all this haul of picks. Then you get Zach LaVine, which is a crazy contract. What is that getting? Like 50 mil or whatever?
Very crazy contract.
One of the craziest contracts. We were talking about this in Hoops World in the offseason about like the Bulls want to tank, but they're in that purgatory. So it's like they gave up Zach LaVine, who is like having an incredible season. I think he's averaging like 25, 5 and 5 on like 40% 3-point shooting, 44%. Incredible season Zach's having. You replace that with De'Aaron. Now the Kings were on the win streak before this De'Aaron news shocked us. They were having a win. They fired Mike Brown. Doug Christie stepped in. They started winning. And now De'Aaron's like, I'm out of here. So it's like, weird. Does this Zach LaVine move you if you're a Kings fan? Because Kings fans are gonna watch it like, feeling some type of way about this. How are you feeling if you're a Kings fan right now?
I mean, their scoring is still going to be very good. Their defense is just still so terrible. I mean, like, that I don't feel like that helps out much, but I mean, they'll still be solid. I don't think it necessarily does too much, and then in terms of just all these other teams contending, but they'll still be interesting, and it at least helps them stay relevant.
Yeah, I think the Kings are leaning into like, we're just gonna outscore you kind of team. Like we're offenses, we're gonna shoot they're like top. We did a video on this. They're one of the top teams in 3-point attempts, but their 3-point percentage is really, really bad. So it's like we're just gonna outshoot you, outscore you, and hopefully we just take it that way. Because the defense is not really, But go ahead, Chubbs.
Ultimately, it's a Band-Aid on a sinking ship. It's just a Band-Aid over like a large crack on a sinking ship.
Yeah.
I think trading Fox, as much as they want to say, oh, it's a retool, it's very clear this is a start to a rebuild. You pretty much traded a guy you drafted, you brought up through the ranks. Not to mention you made a decision on Fox. While it was a crazy situation, they made a decision. They found themselves in a luxurious situation where they had to choose between De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
And they managed to get a haul and build a pretty good team off of sticking with Fox. So the fact that y'all had to trade him, and kind of like the Luka trade, y'all decided not to fully rebuild, but instead try to retool, because these aren't really, if I'm rebuilding, these are terrible picks to have.
Yeah.
Granted, the quantity is fair, but these are terrible picks to have. The protections they're lousy. So, I mean, look, same with the Spurs. It's as far as Sabonis, DeMar, and LaVine take them, honestly.
Yeah, I thought when I saw the Kings picks at first, I was like, oh, they got a haul. And then I saw the protections. I'm like, damn, these are not as good as I thought they were, because the Spurs didn't give up their Hawks valuable picks. And then the Bulls, I mean, that we're going to get to the Bulls in a sec before I get Sife's thoughts. The Bulls had to give up. Zach LaVine's contract is so nasty. The Bulls had to give up picks just to offload him, which makes sense because you got to do it. You got to rebuild somehow, but it's so nasty. They had to just give up picks as a sweetener to get rid of Zach. But yeah, go ahead, Si. What was your thoughts? Final thoughts on this? Is De'Aaron, the Kings side of this trade?
Okay, I guess I kind of understand why they didn't get a lot, because Fox, if Fox made it clear, because he does have like a decent amount of leverage, a 2026 free agent. Like he could have easily said, "Hey, I am coming to the Spurs. in 2026 for free.
For free, yeah.
Do not trade anything of significant value. And the Spurs had all the leverage here because they could have just been like, oh, yeah, well, okay, fine.
Yeah.
We'll pay to get you now a year and a half sooner. But in terms of like the actual assets, they didn't give up anything of significance.
Yeah.
And it's the correct thing because he is coming there.
Yeah.
It's a sad situation if you're a Sacramento fan because you finally got it right. You finally have like a stretch of being respectable, and you're a franchise guy just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And it really sucks because you traded Tyrese Halliburton, who honestly might have been more loyal than Fox. Like you traded a possible All-NBA caliber player. You fired Mike Brown. You made all these decisions for Fox, and he just quit on you.
Yeah.
Like if I was a Kings fan, I would despise the guy.
Yeah. That's a good point you made because De'Aaron could just leave for free. So it's like you don't want that situation to happen. At least they got some type of assets for him. You know, it's not really valuable assets, but it's at least something. And then you, like Chubbs was saying, you put the Band-Aid with Zach LaVine, and you're praying that chemistry and Zach LaVine's hot shooting, because he can shoot better than De'Aaron. He's a better 3-point shooter than De'Aaron. His hot shooting can just uplift this team a little bit, but you still have to figure out the meshing and chemistry, how he's going to fit with everybody in the offense.
If I'm the Kings, and this is the thing I hate, and I hate that the Mavericks did it, and I hate that we almost did it, where, hey, take the L. Take the L. You are not salvaging this team and being respectable anytime soon. Just get as many assets as you can and restart your rebuild.
Yeah.
Like, why absorb Levine's contract? Get some expiring money and try to build through the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see where the Kings take it. Last, before we get out of here, I want to talk about the Bulls side of it. If you're a Bulls fan, what did you get out of this deal? So Bulls, the Bulls got Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter. Am I not mistaken? Right? Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter. And did they get any picks? I'm looking at my ESPN right now.
I got the full trade here.
They got the rights to the protections on their 2025 pick to San Antonio, those from the original DeRozan trade, like those got removed.
Okay, so those are the only picks. Okay, so they got Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and then they got that protection. So now that they have an unprotected 2025 pick, this is and we as Nets fans could relate to this because we're Nets fans. Getting that pick back is joyous, though. It is joyous if you're a Bulls fan because you're stuck in.
Here's the thing: it was top 10 protected. If they tanked normally, they still would have gotten it.
They still would have gotten it, but now you get it unprotected. So it's like you don't even have to worry about because at the time Zach was scoring. You might win some games. You're in the bad East. Everybody's not really good in the East. So it's like there's a possibility you could rise into that play-in and figure out something. But now you have a complete assurance this pick is going to be yours.
AJ, I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to react to it. The Chicago Bulls traded Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, and DeMar DeRozan, and got 0 first-round picks back.
That's you got me there. You got me there. There could be Bulls fans that be like, this is BS.
I will throw this out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said this already. The Bulls got to be one of the worst post-dynasty ran sports organizations of all time.
Yeah.
Like you look at the Patriots.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you look at the Patriots. You look at what's another one? Maybe what's another dynasty? I'm kind of drawing blanks. What the
Lakers?
The Lakers? No, not even the Lakers. Even the Lakers and the Celtics. They periodically managed to come back and make championship-winning rosters.
Yeah,
Dallas
Cowboys. Like they are. From the 90s onward, it was just fail. A little blip with Derrick Rose, he gets injured. Fail. A little hope with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Vucevic. Fail.
Yeah.
And you did all of this just to get your own pick back, and just one of them.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. The way they spun it was really crazy. It is because if you're a Bulls fan, let me ask you this, guys: if you're a Bulls fan, are you happy with this trade, or you're just like, what the fuck did this GM just do to us? Like, who is this GM? Why are you got rid of Zach and you got Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, and our pick back. Now you have to figure out how to get rid of Vucevic. You're putting Vucevic on the block. If you're a Bulls fan, are you satisfied with this?
I don't know. It depends on where you got your own pick back, and you got off that Zach LaVine contract.
Yeah.
How you in that sense, that could be a win in itself. But the fact that you traded Alex Caruso,
DeMar.
what did they? DeMar, Alex Caruso, like you lost all these guys,
Yeah.
and you didn't even get a first rounder back. That's not your own.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even get a least favorable.
Yeah.
Like
And these are all-star guys too. That's the crazy part is these are all all-star guys. Like,
real quick, and I don't know if this is fully credible. Evan Siddery reported that the Kings are targeting Cam Johnson.
Okay. See, this is what we were talking about. See, so like you could take Evan Siddery with a grain of salt, but now the Kings could make a double move here. You're below the tax. Like I said, if Zach does his trade kicker, he takes the trade kickers off his deal and he makes a little bit less. You have a little stuff to play with here. You could make a double move and get more shooting because they want shooting. Zach helps that. You could ask CJ. So when we see the Kings CJ link, we've been talking about that for so long with Cam Johnson. Summertime, right? So they went stalled. They stalled for weeks on end. When we got the De'Aaron news. Now they got rid of De'Aaron, replaced with Zach. Now the Kings can refocus and be like, okay, what do you come back to Sean Marks in the Nets organization and be like, what do you want for Cam Johnson now? They could revisit it. I wouldn't be surprised if they revisit the conversation. But that's a whole nother video. But any last words on the Bulls, man? I mean, like I said, now if I'm a Bulls fan, I just want to tank. I'm sorry. I'm tired of this mid lineups you're putting out. Just put out the young guys. Put out Kobe, Josh Giddey, or Io. Put all of them out there and have fun. Get rid of Vooch and let's tank to the best of our abilities to get the best lottery pick. That's what I'm. If I'm a
It's
Bulls
been a
fan.
long time coming too. Like the Bulls,
Mhm.
I feel like Bulls fans, this has just been kind of long overdue for them. Like I feel like it's been kind of it's been waited way too long for like to get off of Zach LaVine, and like it's been talked about for years, and they waited so long to do it.
Yeah.
And even at now in this point of the season, it's kind of interesting in terms of where they would want in terms of landing a top pick in this draft with teams already way ahead of them in terms of that category. But like if you're a Bulls fan, you're feeling. I feel like you're feeling like so like you'll take it, but like it definitely like not maybe as much as you'd wanted.
Yeah.
But now it's just up to just lose as many games as you can and just get off of Vucevic. So because you're just trying to get off Zach LaVine, get off that money, be able to rebuild and get your pick back.
Because
So
bro, that
I mean, in a
the
draft
young
that's
nucleus they
talented, you're
have.
gonna try.
Yeah, the young nucleus they have of players is pretty good. Like you got Josh is young, Kobe, all these guys are young. And what's that draft pick they have? Matis Bazulis, whatever his name is.
Buzelis. Yeah,
Buzelis.
Buzelis.
He's a young guy. Like they have a young nucleus, so it's like you could set off your rebuild already. Just get rid of Vooch and get a high lottery pick this year. And then you just add them to the young nucleus of guys, because you already have the core already. You have your young core already.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I'm not saying it's a good young core,
because the thing, Io's 25.
How old? What is Josh? Josh 22.
I think
the guy they just drafted is like 19,
I consider
20.
young core definitely.
Buzelis is what 20 or 19.
Buzelis just got drafted.
Who else is Kobe? How old is Kobe? Kobe might be older.
What is he like 24, 25?
Yeah. So it's not
26.
like super young, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's definitely a better start than most people have.
Yeah. I'd rather if I'm a Bulls fan, I'd rather that.
Kobe White turns 25 in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So he's not that old.
He's not old. So it's like I'd rather have that out there than you put the blinders on my eyes and tell me this team is good with Zach LaVine and Vucevic. And I mean, you had DeMar last year. Don't do that. Don't lie to me and put me in purgatory. I'd rather just
with the Bulls. The issue is they waited too long.
Yeah,
waited way too long. They should have done this a couple years ago. Credit to them for not credit to them. Good, you were doing the thing you should have done years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Got essentially nothing out of your three best players.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, if I'm a Bulls fan, I'm just hoping you get lucky in the lottery and move up to the top three.
Oh yeah, if you're a Bulls fan, that's all you can pray for right now. So
we're Nets fans, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we move it into the top three. But
yeah,
if I'm a Bulls fan. Yeah, we're all just hoping for lottery luck at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So Make sure you guys hit that like button. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at HoopsWorld0. Let us know in the comments. Bulls fans, Kings fans, Spurs fans. Let us know how you're feeling about this trade. Who won the trade? Who got the best of who? Let us know in the comments. We'll be back again. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button.